What's up, guys? It's Crash. We have a lot to talk about with Gray Zone Warfare today with Hotfix 5.2 and kind of the drama surrounding that just a little bit. Mara, the CEO over at Madfinger Games, took to Twitter, kind of out of radio silence. He's been head down, working on the game, working at things over at the studio to talk about, basically apologizing for Hotfix 5.2, having to roll it back yesterday, as you guys know. And then that caused a little bit of a stir, so much so that he had to tweet again and kind of clarify things today. So I kind of want to break down that whole situation, give some thoughts on that, as well as have some really cool news that yesterday I was able to sit on a call with developers and talk about the future of Madfinger Games and Gray Zone Warfare and how they're going to communicate going forward, and some really exciting stuff for us as part of the Crash community on how we're going to be able to interface with the developers and give feedback moving forward. So we have a lot to talk about today. And the first thing, as you guys know, Hotfix 5.2 was rolled back yesterday, and the CEO took to Twitter to apologize. And in the second paragraph of his tweet, he goes on to say, "We messed up mostly because we didn't trust our community when they reported performance issues. We couldn't reproduce it on our end, and after checking every comment, we were sure none of the fixes could affect client performance. This was a big mistake. It turned out to be the wrong merge, and unwanted changes were propagated to the Hotfix branch. We have multiple branches, not only for the game, but also for Unreal Engine. So, lesson learned the hard way. We will always trust our community from now on and improve our pipelines to limit these problems. Please excuse us. We will do better next time." So when I read this yesterday, I kind of took it at face value and I appreciated it. It's kind of what Madfinger Games has done, in my opinion, this whole time. They've been pretty honest and transparent, and they've tried to do things kind of honestly, I feel like, and this looks like it was an honest mistake. But what a lot of people did was focus on the statement, not even the full sentence, the statement that he said, "We didn't trust our community," and they kind of embellished that, took it out of context and ran with it. And it kind of has taken up steam where a lot of people on like Discord, on Reddit, on Twitter, on everywhere were just kind of saying, the CEO of Madfinger Games doesn't trust us, like they're calling us stupid or something. And it just kind of snowballed into something a little bit bigger than it was. Some of the other things that I kind of took out of this tweet was that there was some wrong branches and wrong changes were propagated to the hotfix. So some things that they didn't want to get in there, got in there. They have multiple branches, and some things happened on the back end that were essentially mistakes. So stuff that shouldn't have happened got into the hotfix, and that could have caused a lot of the problems. They learned things. Hopefully they'll keep a closer eye on that as well as listening a little bit more to the community. They already have, in my opinion, some really good pipelines in place where everybody can test it. Every single person that has the game can get in and play the test environment early, can check it out. And also there is a form to directly report bugs. Now, it sounds like in this instance, the breakdown happened after those reports were made. The people over at Madfinger Games, the developers, couldn't reproduce those. So they went ahead and pushed it forward, kind of taking into account, I don't know. I don't know what they thought, but it seems like a really entirely overcomplicated thing between, do you trust these reports? Do we, we can't reproduce them, so we can't fix them. So maybe it's something on the user's machine, some extra kind of software that's causing these issues, or something like that. It's really hard to tell because some people, I fished through comments and stuff from my video talking about the hotfix, and a lot of people had the issues, right? They had the crashes, lost gear, just had a really, really bad time. And they're obviously legitimate. I trust you guys. I believe what you're saying, as well as some people experience better performance. So it's just a really complicated thing that has to be, like a multifaceted approach on how to get feedback to the developers and make sure that these hot fixes are in good shape when they go out. But all that to say, a ton of people, a pretty big subset of the community, in my opinion, kind of ran with the whole statement that, we didn't trust the community. So Mara had to clarify today. He said, "I thought about the Hotfix 5.2 failure and the comments on our community trust. Focusing on a few words and taking them out of context is not helpful. We trust our community, work with them, collect feedback, and react to it. In this particular case, we failed to follow up on the bad performance reports from the community because we tested the build and didn't experience any drops ourselves. Our automated performance tests were good and the fixes seemed unrelated to performance. Next time we will do better, but these out of context comments are killing me." Again, addressing that, I kind of give these guys a benefit of the doubt. I've seen things, from the start of the whole thing to where their microtransactions are all going to go to charity. When they released the game, if you guys, when they did the creator play test, they could have made even more money. They did really well, selling over 900,000 copies, and they could honestly just say peace right off into the sunset with a giant check from Steam. But they are keeping committed to working on this and getting it out the door. What I was saying before, but before launch, they could have taken a ton of money taking pre-orders. The hype was out of this world for the game before launch. They could have taken pre-orders and made a lot of money. So far, what I've seen from their actions as well as their words kind of mesh into being honest and trying to do this the right way, being truthful and transparent. So I definitely commend them on that, admitting they made a mistake, because 5.2, no doubt about it, was a big mistake and a step back in this game. You see that with the drop in player numbers, and people are waiting on the sidelines to see how this works out moving forward. But he had to clarify that we didn't trust the reports from the community. And there's also some extra insight in this tweet that I think is really cool. They have an automated performance test, so maybe that needs to be looked at a little bit more, and that the fixes in the game that they did were not related to performance. This wasn't a super performance based fix. I know they did say that they were working on rubber banding. I would kind of put that under performance potentially. So that could have been where things got crossed. But some awesome people over in my Discord kind of found out that the game within the 5.2 hotfix was actually requesting more memory, more VRAM on the GPU than it actually had. And Windows goes ahead and starts taking your RAM from your PC, and pretty soon you're out of RAM to run the game and causing crashes and stutters and things like that. So when it was rolled back, they confirmed that it was back down to not requesting too much VRAM. So there's something going on with that. And with that being said, join my Discord, man. Like, we've had a lot of people join the Discord. I want to get a true group of people that want to test the game and make it better. The link is down in the description if you guys want to join. I have a Gray Zone Warfare channel, and like I said in my last video, whenever these patches come out for testing, I really want to poll you guys. I want to tag you guys and hear from you about how you're getting along with it, because moving on to the next subject, I was able to talk to developers yesterday, and it sounds like our community through me is going to have a direct line to developers. So it's really cool. I'm part of a group that they selected to be kind of between the community and them. So I think this is really cool. So the next time we get one of these test environments, I want people in my Discord to hop in, test it, give feedback. If we start to see some things, if we start to see some trends, and like the awesome people that found the VRAM issue this last time, I should be able to have a channel to get that straight to the developers, so we can kind of streamline this communication between the community to me, to them. And I think it will really be cool moving forward. So please join the Discord and get active in those Gray Zone channels over there. And I think we can help keep this from happening in the future. I think it's going to take everybody. I think it's going to take the community testing these things out. I think it's going to take Madfinger being more receptive, working on timetables, kind of helping their pipeline keep these things from happening again. And hopefully, you know, it's kind of how you respond to these mistakes that kind of determine your outlook moving forward and how people are going to perceive these kind of mistakes and the studio. I think there's a lot riding on this reputation wise with Madfinger Games and Gray Zone Warfare, how they respond to this. And I think it would be cool for our community to kind of help out, because I feel like at the end of the day, even if you're someone who's angry in the comments, rightfully so, about losing a bunch of gear, crashing, you have a friend you want to play with and it's unplayable, and like all the issues with the game are frustrating to you, you have to kind of look where that anger comes from. And I really think that everybody engaged in talking about this game wants it to be good, right? Like, we see an extraction open world game with no raid timer that you can go in, do what you want to. We've heard some of the things that are coming to the game with hopefully a roadmap coming in the next couple months that we can see when these things are going to happen. But we have day-night cycle coming, NVGs coming, crafting coming. We have different bases around that we can fight over, factions to control for different traders and things like that, to make this a big open living server, more like an MMO. And that sounds awesome to us. And that's why we want this game to work out and to be good. And I find myself getting impatient as well, because I see the potential in the game and I'm just hoping it can get there. But along with being a part of this creator group, it sounds like I'll be able to be on calls at least once a month, and I'll be able to have a direct line of communication with developers if things come up. So keep me updated in the Gray Zone Discord channels on my Discord. And if we start to see some themes and stuff that need to be brought to them, we can do that as a community. I think that will be really cool. They also talked about how they want to work on fixes moving forward and being just a little bit more careful with them. Again, and trying to figure out how to get more testers, right? And be able to get more testers in the game to check it out, fill out the Google Forms, and give them feedback so they can compile data on these tests. The only way I know to help with that myself is try to get our community moving and try to get our community kind of called into action to help test these things. They also talked about getting us information on patches and things they are working on moving forward. So as soon as they're able to talk about it, I'll be able to talk about it. So you can also stay tuned to this YouTube channel for all the updates, pretty much as soon as anyone can talk about them, right? Like I'll try to keep you updated with these kind of informational, conversational videos about Gray Zone Warfare to keep you updated on what's coming and when with the game. So if you do like this stuff, I hardly ever ask people to, but subscribe if you do want to hear. I know we get tired of hearing subscribe to me on YouTube, but if you do want to keep up to date with this game, because it sounds like I will be getting information as soon as anyone and able to keep you guys informed about what's coming with the game and updated along those lines. There's also several patches coming to the game with, hotfix 5.2 getting fixed. I don't know if it's going to be just called hotfix 6 or whatever. And then like the bigger patch 2 is coming, as well as the giant content update down the road in a few months. And with that big content update coming with the first big patch, we did also get some insight into the AI behavioral changes, because AI is a huge deal. And in response, someone asked about the AI, and Mara did say today that it is just very base AI now. They just work with very few information, so their behavior is very limited. So it's going to be improved a lot in the first big update. So hopefully they're going to be adding more parameters to the AI, taking into account visual occlusion from bushes, as well as just kind of overall acting a little bit more reasonable. And yeah, there's a lot of improvement with AI, but it is coming in the first big patch. So they talked about that. They're going to keep us informed on what's coming and when with the game. And it just all sounds like they really want to do an even better job of communicating and kind of using the creators that they had on the call as a way to get the word out, to keep, like my community informed as much as I can. But also what I thought was really cool about the meeting is they stressed that they wanted it to be a two-way conversation. So I will be able to talk to them, bring up community concerns to them, and get you guys answers with stuff. So I kind of look forward to filling that role. It's really cool to have a game that I enjoy making content about. I enjoy, the community enjoys my videos, and playing the game and working through the game with me is really, really cool, as well as like being kind of like a liaison between you guys and between Gray Zone, and just to have a communication open with the devs for a game that I enjoy playing and I enjoy talking about is really cool. And I think the channel and the game and everything is going to be in a really good place moving forward. And I'm excited for the future with us as Crash's community, as well as, kind of where Gray Zone Warfare is headed, and being able to have that open line of communication to the devs is super awesome. I think it's awesome for our community. I think it's awesome for you guys watching, and just for me too. It's really cool. And I'm honored that they would, kind of ask me to be a part of that. But with all those positive things being said about Mad Finger Games with, 5.2 kind of having issues, I just want you guys to know that without a doubt, my allegiance is to you, my viewer. I will never, ever have a time where I will sugarcoat anything or say something that's not my true thoughts. And my loyalty is always to you guys, getting you guys informed, hopefully entertaining a little bit with conversational videos. But you guys, my integrity, my honesty are more important than, being able to talk to developers. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything or say anything different or mislead you guys so I can keep talking to the developers. That's not how it works, right? You guys are my first priority, and I just want you to know that. So with that being said, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. I can't thank you enough for watching it. I can't wait to see where this goes, what kind of information we can get from the developers and feedback we can push their way. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much, and I really hope to see you on the next one.